Hello everyone, James Martin here. Welcome back to another brand new video. I'm super excited because I actually get to talk with a producer of a really cool upcoming project of a company called Entrepreneurial, and they're working on a really cool short film called Shadow of a Conqueror, written by a very successful YouTuber called Shad M. Brooks. His YouTube channel is Shadiversity. You can check him out in the description below. He's working on his really cool short. And right now we have the producer with us, Dylan. Thank you so much, Dylan, for joining us.
Thanks, James, for having me on the show.
So why don't you tell us a bit about what's your position, what do you do, and what's sort of Entrepreneurial all about?
I've always had a passion for cinema. Unofficially, I started the company in 8th grade, directing short films with a couple of my friends. And funny enough, our composer, Zach, he was with me at that time. Over the years, I grew as a leader and went away from directing and more into a producing role. If you ask my production manager, Alex, he would tell you I'm impulsive. I prefer calling that taking chances, seizing opportunities, which is the skill that brought me here today, producing a short film of one of my favorite books.
Fantastic. And I was going through a lot of the work at Entrepreneurial, and you guys have a very wide variety of work. I've seen a bunch of your short films. I loved The Void, which was a more recent one that you did. That was really cool. You also have done a bunch of different music videos. So do you kind of specialize in different projects, or is it mainly artistic stuff?
Most of what we do for a living is corporate videos. This is not something that we post on our channel. It's something that's for the companies that we work for. We do a lot of the short films because everyone on the team loves cinema. The Void short film that we're talking about is something that I did for a film riot competition that was during the pandemic, but it was a really nice concept.
So why don't you talk to us about this Shadow of the Conqueror movie? So what's it all about?
The book is written by Shad, as you said. He's an Australian author. Actually, it's his first book, but he's currently writing the second book in the series. It's a high concept fantasy world where technology meets magic. And it tells the story of Dalen Namarin. He's the former tyrant of this world, reborn as his younger self. And he's forced to confront all the atrocities that he committed. He has to seek redemption throughout the book. And Shad doesn't hold back. He raises some questions like, can someone that committed extreme atrocities be redeemed? And what do they need to do to redeem themselves? He also touches on themes like forgiveness, grief, and overcoming traumatic experiences.
That's awesome. That's definitely a great movie. Really looking forward to that. I mean, I don't find there's too many movies out there that really go deep into redemption. How did you first start watching Shad? How did you come about his YouTube channel, Shadiversity?
Well, since I'm a history and fantasy buff, I play role-playing games and LARP. I discovered Shad very early on, and I've probably been watching his videos for 5 years. And I think I've watched most, if not all of them.
I was just trying to think recently about, because I've watched Shad not nearly as long as you have, but I'm guessing probably about the last year. I remember the first video was him sort of breaking down the fight scene in The Last Jedi.
It's been a very popular series, is fight scene breakdowns.
When did you and your team want to turn the book into a movie, and sort of how did you go about that?
I read the book back in September of last year, and when I read it, and you must know I'm not that much of a book guy, I'm more of a movie guy. I read that book quite quickly because it was so good. When I finished it, I just couldn't get it out of my head, so I had to reread it again. And at that time, I had been looking for a good script to sink my teeth into for almost 3 years. So I thought, well, that book's perfect. I need to make a movie out of it. And since I was dead set on making it, I figured I better get the author's support. Since I'm an impulsive leader, like they say, I sent an email and told Shad I wanted to produce a short film based on his book, and I was going to do it with or without his support, but that I would rather to have it.
I couldn't find information on the script writer, so did you write the script or did someone else do it? Or was there a team?
I wrote the first 5 versions of the script, then Francis, our director, stepped in and wrote the last 6 versions of the script. And Shad has been working with us all throughout the process, giving us tips and advice on the writing, on the characters, just to make it sure that it fits into his universe and to make sure that really the final product is as good as possible.
So what I'm also curious about is what the process was like to get Shad to kind of greenlit the project, or did he just kind of say yes from day one?
Well, from day one, he said yes. And you're going to think it's funny because we talked about it more recently, and he told me that at first he just thought a bunch of fans were going to make a fan film in their backyard during a weekend, and that's going to be it. When they post it on YouTube, a few people are going to see it. It's going to be funny. It's when I started sending him version after version after version of the script that he really started to see that this guy is no joke. And I was also questioning him about his book, about his universe, and really showing him how involved I was. And really, the tipping point was when we sent out a casting call and Shad saw that how much his audience wanted to see this project done. For the auditions, we got over 400 applications for the main characters. After that, he knew that we were aiming to do a high quality production.
That's fantastic. Yeah, he basically started to notice that you were really taking this project very seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Along with that, I'm very curious on what were some of the big challenges with taking his novel and turning it into a script. I mean, a lot of us know that it's not that easy to really turn a book into a movie. You know, a lot of us are familiar with stories like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. You can't just simply turn page by page of a book into a movie because books have a different pacing than a movie. You know, I remember doing a short film back in film school where I took a 50-page novel and turned it into a 20-minute short film, and I remember that was definitely not easy. Sometimes you can include characters, take them out, include dialogue, take that out, sometimes even remove whole scenes just to make the pacing go smoothly. So what were some of the big challenges when you were converting the book into the script?
Of course, we have the same challenges as anyone has for adapting a book into a script. The characters that speak to themselves, the exposition that explains all of the world has to be done in another way. But from the start, we knew that this project was going to be an ambitious one, regardless of which parts of the book that we would pick. As you know, the project is crowdfunded. We're also doing that during a world pandemic. Early on, we had to decide if we were going to hold off on the project or not. And we opted to move forward knowing that we might get less, because our goal is to make a feature film out of the book. And we knew that we were not going to get the $10 million required to make the feature film. We had in mind, we're going to do the short film, and then in a year, with the short film in hand, we're going to approach investors and do the feature film.
Fantastic. And by the way, if you want to check out this Kickstarter, I'll put in the description below. You really should check it out. Ever since you put out the project, what's been the support like for the project?
Well, it's been incredible. Ever since the casting call that we sent out in April, the fans have been supporting us all the way. I'm sure that everyone says that, but we have the best fans, really. And we call them the Ever fans, because of the Everfall universe of the book. And we also interact with our fans weekly on our live shows, where we invite people from the team or partners of ours to come and talk about the project. And I honestly could not do the 80 hours a week I'm currently doing without all of their support. So I want to take this moment to thank all of our fans once more. Really, we could not do this project without them.
And one of the things that I find is really incredible about your project is just, you know, not only do you have your fans, but really like the people working on your project are all fans of the book, and of Shad. You know, I was watching several of the behind the scenes. I noticed that you're now working with a fight choreography team.
Yeah, Adoria, they're consultants that are working hand in hand with our stunt coordinator, Rodney. So we have a very good and experienced stunt coordinator working with historical European martial artists that are very known for their good fight scenes. So it's the perfect match.
And I was even watching one how there's a swordsmith that's going to make all the actual swords for your project. So, I mean, it's just so cool about how much of the fans are coming together and really bringing their best talents and skills to support the project.
Yeah, Kalamazoo has been an essential partner and one that I'm super happy to work with them because I've been a fan of them for years. I think I've bought some of their products almost 10 years ago.
What has it been like working with Shad? You know, obviously, he's a very knowledgeable guy, really knows his stuff, and of course, he's the most passionate about this project out of anyone. So, what's that been like?
Since, you know, I've been watching him for years, it's been like a dream come true. And in regards to the short film, I'm really glad that I found that Shad and I are really on the same page creatively. But even more than that, we agree on a lot of different points and we have a lot of the same interests. And he almost became like a mentor to me when it comes to creating content and adapting it to fit to his audience. He really is helping us build this project out and make it as best as possible. And I'm trying to use the skills that he teaches me right now. I really hope I'm doing a good job.
Well, I mean, we're definitely all excited. I mean, the fact that you're just passionate about the project is already a great start. So I'm genuinely very, very happy for you guys and can't wait to see the final product. What are some of the biggest challenges you see in this project moving forward? I know that you've mentioned about choreography and fight scenes are going to be one of your main concerns, but what other sort of complications are you seeing in this project?
I just have a question for you before I get into that question. How did you feel when you listened to Lord of the Rings for the first time?
I was just blown away and I was just taken into the world. You know, movies is a form of escapism for me, as I'm sure it is for everyone else. So just, you know, to this day, every time I watch it, you know, I get the hairs on my arm and my neck, they start standing up. You get shivers down your spine and just, captivates you every time.
Yeah, and that's the exact same experience we're aiming to give to our audience in that epic story. As you know, and most of the audience knows, things like costumes, sets, VFX play a major role in a movie's quality. To get the quality that we want, we must build everything from scratch. We also need the perfect actor for the main role. We're pretty much sure that we found the best one, but he lives in the US and we have to fly him in. And same thing for Adoria. To make the fight scenes that need to be A1, we need to fly in Adoria from Czech Republic, that is also an expense that we have to think about. The challenge really is going to deliver all of that with a limited budget. I'm not too worried because I surrounded myself with a team of truly passionate and really skilled people, and we're going to overcome these challenges together. I have no doubt that we will deliver an exceptional short film for everyone on the internet.
Fantastic. Well, again, we're definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're aiming for just creating the best experience, to me, is very admirable. All right, so again, thank you so much, Dylan, for your time. This has been a fantastic, conversation, learning so much about the project, where it is right now, and about the process. So, by the way, if you guys want to check out more of the progress from Project Eurasia and want to support their Kickstarter, we're going to put all this information down in the description so you can go check that out. So again, thank you so much, Dylan, for your time.
Thanks, James, for having me. Thanks for everyone for your support again. This is really a project made by fans, for fans, and we're trying to be as open as possible about it. Thanks again, James. It's really appreciated to be here.
Fantastic. Well, it's such a pleasure to be talking to you and getting to discuss this awesome project. So again, thanks so much, everyone. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you want more videos down the pipeline. Good luck, and I will see you guys next time.